All right, if you have watched some of my other videos, you may have come across videos where I talk about the 9x12 postcard and the business opportunity that you have with that. And I'm here to actually rain on that parade a little bit because there is another opportunity that I think is a lot better and has a lot more potential. So let's dive in and talk about it. Now, first, the 9x12 postcard is not a bad business opportunity. It is a good way to make money fairly quickly. The problem that I had with it, and the problem that I think a lot of people find with it, is it's very high maintenance. And it's something that once you get started in it, if you want to keep it going, you're constantly having to work with multiple businesses, and you're kind of juggling this because it's not something where it's just straightforward and everybody just pays their bill and stays in. You've got to constantly be like talking to people and managing accounts and sending out payment reminders, and it can get overwhelming really fast. So if you are looking for a really quick way to make some money, make some quick money, do a good deed in your local community, then definitely take a look at the 9x12 postcard. It might be something worth trying to get some money in your pocket, fairly fast. But if you're looking for a more long-term solid solution, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you take a serious look into digital products. And just so we're clear right off the bat, these include things like ebooks, like courses, like guides, templates, stuff like that. But the idea behind digital products, or successful digital products, I should add, is that you are looking for problems that you can solve for people, and then you create a product around that problem that is the solution that people need. Now, this is not necessarily a straightforward, easy task. This can take a lot of brainstorming and a lot of thought to come up with the right ideas that are going to actually be a good product that people are going to actually want. But we have tools like AI today that make it so much easier to be able to brainstorm and find things that are going to work for you and find something that you actually have the skills to be able to create. It really ultimately comes down to how much time and effort and energy that you have to put into creating this, because contrary to what some people might think, digital products are not necessarily something that are super easy to create and then you just make millions of dollars. That's not generally how it works. And to share a quick example from my life, so I got into digital products several years ago. I was part of an online forum called the Warrior Forum, and they had a section on their website where you could pay a fee and promote something that you had created. And a lot of people use this to sell software, to sell templates, to sell graphics, just different things that would help online marketers at the time. Well, I had started learning Photoshop around then, and Facebook cover images were kind of becoming a thing at that time. And one of the things that people would do with the cover image is you'd have your image on Facebook, like your cover photo that's on your profile page. And then down here in the corner, you have the little profile picture. Well, the profile picture would blend in with the cover photo, and that's what people were doing. So one of the examples that I remember that I'm never going to forget, I can still see exactly what it looks like, but it had a guy's head in the profile picture, and then it had this shark that was about to eat the profile picture, essentially. So it was basically creating these two images that would kind of blend together. And I created a Photoshop template. Now, it didn't take me a ton of time to make this, but it was a little bit of work. It probably took me a weekend to put it all together and get it all set up. Then I paid my fee, I launched my product, and in 24 hours, I made a whopping $700. So it wasn't something that made me rich, but it definitely gave me a really good taste of the potential that digital products actually have. And this particular product, I only sold for $7. So you can see that it was not like a big moneymaker. But it definitely opened that door for me and helped me to realize that there is opportunity here. You have to find the right digital product. And you also have to understand that depending on what you're selling or what you have to create, it could take you a lot of time. I recently spent time working on something that I'm really excited about, and I've just launched. It's an email marketing course teaching people how to grow an email list. And this has taken me months to put together and to get everything right, to get all the videos, all the tutorials and the trainings and everything that's involved in this course. it has been a process. It's been a lot of work. So understand that if you want to sell a digital product, there may be a lot of upfront work that you're going to have to put in order for this to actually work and be something that people will really want. The other side of selling a digital product that I think gets kind of glossed over is the traffic part. And, how do you find people? And a lot of the people that I've followed more recently that talk about this concept are focused on organic traffic. Now, I am 100% in favor of organic traffic, but there's a problem with organic that a lot of people don't address, and that is the time factor and the inconsistency factor. And so finding ways that you can use paid advertising to be able to promote and sell your digital products is going to add a lot more consistency and reliability to your sales process. Again, I'm not against organic, and I think that should be a part of everybody's marketing strategy, regardless of what else you're doing. But organic takes time, it is inconsistent. And if you're in a situation where you're trying to make sales quickly and get things moving, that's not probably going to do it for you. Now, when it comes to brainstorming ideas and coming up with a product, my best advice, and I'm just regurgitating what other people have taught me over the years, but that is to look for problems that people have that you can solve. And it can't be a problem that one person has, because if you're just trying to sell to one person, if you wanted to make a lot of money, you'd have to sell it for a lot of money to that one person. So you need to find problems that a lot of people are having, that, it's a common problem in the marketplace, that you can create something that will be a solution to that problem. And fortunately today we have great tools like AI that can help you with your brainstorming and help you to come up with ideas. But again, you just want to look for something that is more of a wide problem that a lot of people have that you can solve with your digital product. Now, is a digital product better than the 9x12 postcard? In the short run, probably not. In the short run, the postcard is probably going to win. But in the long run, if you're looking at the level of work and maintenance that is involved with the postcard compared to the amount of work and maintenance that it's involved with the digital product, I think hands down in the long run, the digital product can win. And it really just comes down to whether or not you've created a good solid product that has a longevity to it, that solves a problem that a lot of people have, and whether or not you can drive consistent traffic to your product. But ultimately, here are my thoughts on these two products. If you're comparing the two and you're going to do one or the other, I would definitely lean towards the digital product, because I think there's a lot more long-term potential with that versus the postcard, which is a lot more work, a lot more ongoing maintenance, and it's something that'll be easier to burn out on. Those are my thoughts, and if you're interested in checking out my new email marketing course where I teach people how to grow an email list, there's a link in the description below this video where you can go take a look at that, and I wish you all the best. Have a great day. Bye.